Welcome to Record-ology.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Record-ology. Okay, my wife surprised me big time. I've got an early Valentine's gift. She took me to an antique mall we haven't been to in a while, and we spent a good hour and a half in there checking out everything. So I've got a bunch of cool stuff. This is just an initial haul video. I'm going to clean it. You can see the spin clean off to the right. And I've got the last batch of records to clean too, so I'm overdue for a spin clean session. But I want to show you what we got. The haul is pretty amazing. Some really cool treasures. Kind of see a couple of them peeking through, and we're just going to go through and show it to you. And then eventually down the road, almost all this stuff we're going to do full video on in the future. First thing is I picked up a couple new old stock cassette tapes because they're hard to find, and at $2 a pop, you can't beat them. So this is a Maxell UR, which is a pretty basic cassette, but perfect for my needs, type 1. And like I said, I record movie audio, and for that this is absolutely perfect. So $2 a pop, you can't even beat it. Next up, an awesome golden record with Mitch Miller and his orchestra. Mitch Miller did the music for most of these old golden records, and at $1 you can't beat it. I love how they say it's a 45, like not quite, but these actually are 78 RPM, but a cool. This is either a 6-inch disc or a 5-inch. I think this is a 6-inch record, but really, really cool. It is two-sided. There's the other side. So we'll definitely be doing more on that in the future. Next, this is really interesting. Helena Rubinstein Jazz Combo Hot on another little 6-inch record made by Columbia Records, 78 RPM. Really interesting. Usually colored vinyl is, children's material. In this case, it's not. So another $1. That's an easy win right there. This one, check this out. Snap, Crackle, Pop, Kellogg's cereal record. That is just so cool. This is the kind of stuff that really gets me excited because, and you can see it's dirty. That's why we're using the spin clean right there. The before and after will be, in fact, we're going to look at this one especially because you can see that it's filthy. But this stuff that's unique, you know what I mean? This novelty sort of record, this is what I really get excited about. Next is this Take Me to the Moon book and record set. Very interesting. Haven't opened it yet. I'm going to save that for its own show. Walt Disney's story of Johnny Fedora and Alice Bluebonnet. And this looks to be in immaculate condition. $3 for the whole set here. Really cool. 24-page book. Great artwork. This is an easy pick as well. Now, this is super, super exciting. So, now I was saying you got to be ready for those Christmas finds throughout the year. And obviously, come Christmas time, when I'm in a super Christmassy mood, this will be even more exciting. And I'll be like, oh yeah, I can't believe we got that. That's awesome. So, thinking ahead, didn't want to pass up on this. So, this beautiful Decca record album. This was $12. Which, for a good artist, I think that's a killer find. If it was a lesser artist, these are usually more like in the $5 range. And we got all Christmas records on these beautiful Decca discs. Everything's in really A1 condition. White Christmas. That's awesome. So yeah, some really cool stuff for us to review when we get closer to Christmas. Next up, I've already kind of opened it up, but we have the Star Trek The Motion Picture, and I made sure it was not a Laserdisc because it looks identical to the Laserdisc. But no, this is the album, the original motion picture score, Jerry Goldsmith. And this record is, I don't know if I go so far as to say it's rare, but it's definitely not something you see come up every day. So I wanted to hop on it. I love Star Trek, and it's got great artwork. Great imagery. It came with a couple of these little mini posters. 2 of the same one. I'm not sure, but you can't have too many pictures of the Enterprise, right? So this one was, I think this is $1.50. What did I pay for this? I don't know, $3. But whatever it was worth it. So that was a cool find. This is interesting. So you see a lot of these, at least out here in Colorado, where you got like radio release discs or just random discs in these nondescript sleeves. And this one is Sesame Street record, so I thought that would be really cool to play on the Sesame Street record player. And of course it's K-Tel, so it's like a a value record label. I love the Chet Atkins records with the really cool artwork. You can't go wrong. Just wonderful, wonderful stuff. And I love Chet Atkins music as well. If you haven't listened to Chet Atkins, you're missing out on one of the all-time great guitar players. And then I decided to add one to the Mitch Miller collection. I don't think I have this. I hope I don't. But it was $1, so it was worth the gamble. And great imagery as usual. And you can't go wrong. I just love this stuff. A lot of fun, a lot of fun. Now this is super cool. An evening with at the famous Flying W Ranch. $5. And this is there's a ranch down in Colorado Springs. You can see the sticker for it. And it actually burned down in a big forest fire a couple of years ago. And they had this band, and they would play, old Western music, Western swing. And it was a Christian operation, so there would be a little bit of gospel in there as well. But it was a chuck wagon dinner, a whole evening. And they had all these tapestries on the wall, old Native American artwork and stuff, and just super, super cool. Stuff you're not going to see every day. And to top it off, it's autographed. So I'm like, this is absolutely fantastic. So having all these autographs on here, this really makes it unique. And I think this is cool. And every once in a while, you'll just see autographed records pop up. Super neat. Interesting. I wonder why they crossed out those titles, but not something you see every day. So I definitely had to pop on this. This is interesting. Let's take a look at the record itself. Really neat. Love it. Love it. Glenn Miller. My Glenn Miller, no Glenn Miller left behind policy. I actually have this set, but I only have one of the 2 records, so this completes it. It is Camden, and if you don't know, Camden is RCA Victor's budget label. But what's cool is they use the same quality pressings as the full-blown RCA Victor albums. It's just that they work out licensing arrangements with the artists and the artist families that they get a lower royalty so that these can be re-released at a budget price. So these are stereo reprocessed, but that's okay. But this is a cool album. Really cool set to have. So again, what did I pay for this? This was $5. So this was, I probably wouldn't have paid $6 for it, but $5 I think is a good deal. And I think this is the last one on the stack here. Bert and Ernie. How could you pass that up? If you would pass this up, you are heartless. You got Bert's unibrow. You've got Ernie's big smile there. And again, another one that's going to be perfect for that Sesame Street record player. How can you beat it, right? I don't know if you guys know this, a little trivia fact, but Bert and Ernie were inspired by Bert the cop and Ernie the taxi cab driver from It's a Wonderful Life, 1946 with Jimmy Stewart, and kind of some trivia there. Okay, so next up is time to clean this, because as much as I love vintage records, I don't want a bunch of pubes and mysterious hairs on my records. So we are going to do the deep clean process. Now, I've done shows in the past about how this works, so I'm not going to go through excruciating detail, but I'm going to pop in a couple times during the process and just kind of show you how much progress we've made. And then let's do a before and after on the water so you guys can see what a difference this system really makes. And if you happen to be inspired and interested, I'll go ahead and put a link down below for the Spin Clean Record Clean system if you want to add that to your setup as well. But first, let's take a look at that water and do a before and after. So here's what it looks like before. Okay, this is the before. Notice how clean the water is. Everything is 100% clean. And I just want to show you what good this actually does in terms of cleaning the record. Okay guys, so one of the questions I get a lot is, see how it's smooth up there? That's the water getting loaded into the grooves. And people ask me about this, they're like, well, doesn't the label get wet? And you'll notice that the water is staying away from the label because it follows the grooves. And if I let go, you'll see it drain out because it's literally going all the way around the grooves and avoiding the label. Now watch, I'm gonna load it up with water again. And then when I pull this out, watch what happens. So you can keep the shot just right there. That water just kind of drains right around it and avoids the label altogether. Okay guys, so I wanted to show you some of our clean records so far. So clean you can see the reflection of the phone. But they are coming out just grand. These are mostly from the haul the other day. Just beautiful. This thing does a great job. Okay guys, let's take a look at the after. As you can see, it's very foggy. Hairs, dust, grime. It's striking. It really is striking. I took the rollers out of here, by the way. So you can see it, and even more so to the naked eye, you can see. Somebody asked me if this damages the edges of the records, and it doesn't, because the rollers have rubber down there in the crevice. And unlike the Crosley one, these stay put for the most part, so they seem to do a really good job. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for today. Happy record hunting. We will see you tomorrow.